We're here in City Hall, and we've just had a wonderful celebration of Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year. We had a lot of wonderful members of the community, both folks who are here in City Hall and throughout Los Angeles, coming together to celebrate this holiday.
It's a very ancient ceremony. Ruz means day, so it means a new day and a new year. So it's the first day of spring, which is a new day, and we try to start everything from the scratch, to be happy, to be together for peace and love and family gathering. It's a very nice event, and I'm so proud of being Persian.
We have a very large Persian community in my district, but in the city overall. And one of the great strengths of this city is our diversity and how we embrace each other and embrace each other's traditions.
Today I'm so proud to be here with my colleagues. I understand we have over 300 plus engineers from Iran working for the city of Los Angeles. Iranian people, they love to celebrate, they love friendship, they love new dress, they love parties, and they love to have something to be recognized.
Happy New Year and Happy Nowruz.
Small businesses across California can now receive grants of up to $2,000 per employee through California's Paid Family Leave (PFL) program. The program allows workers to take paid leave to bond with a new child through birth, adoption, or foster care, or to care for a seriously ill family member. The grant supports small businesses in covering additional costs when employees take leave, like cross-training staff and hiring new or temporary employees. Under the PFL program, businesses with 1 to 50 employees may receive up to $2,000 per employee. For eligible California workers who need time off, the PFL program pays up to 8 weeks of benefits in a 12-month period. For more information about the Paid Family Leave program, go to californiapfl.com. The Department of Cultural Affairs, DCA, invites creatives to apply for the 2024 City of Los Angeles Independent Master Artist Projects COLA IMAP Grant Program. The COLA IMAP grant goes to mid-career literary, visual, performing arts, and design artists who will create new solo works between fall 2025 and spring 2026. Up to 12 grant contracts will be offered to selected artists whose works will be premiered by the Department of Cultural Affairs. Eligible applicants must be individual artists or independent duos who live in the city of Los Angeles or have a history presenting work in the city. The deadline to apply is Friday, October 25th, 2024 for grant projects that will take place after July 1st, 2025. For more information on eligibility and to apply, go to culture.lacity.gov. Mayor Karen Bass welcomed Acting Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, Adrienne Todman, and civic leaders to the Mayfair Hotel in downtown L.A. According to the mayor, more than 1,000 people were able to come inside due to new waivers from HUD. Since May 2024, the city-owned Mayfair Hotel is in use as an interim housing site for over 300 clients. Clients receive wraparound case management services for their physical and mental health, and they also get help in navigating employment and housing opportunities. For more information, visit mayor.lacity.gov/press.
Later in the show, there's a welcome for all creatures at the annual Blessing of the Animals. But now, as a part of Women's History Month, we met the very first female SWAT officer and heard her story.
Being the first at anything is difficult, and I didn't really realize that when I decided that I was going to try to be a SWAT officer. The team had been in existence for over 40 years. They'd never had a woman in their ranks, and there were many that thought that a woman did not belong there. And I'd like to think my dedication, my hard work, my competence, my capabilities kind of persuaded people, changed opinions. The reason I was interested is that, like, if they can do it, I can do it. Just knowing that when all else has failed in the field and patrol or gangs or detectives are unable to handle the situation, they're going to call SWAT. I think women are underrepresented in law enforcement. We need more women. People in our community, they have a right that when police officers show up, they see people that reflect them. And the fact of the matter is that 50% of our community is female. Women, we tend to solve problems a little differently than our male counterparts. I think we can only get better as a law enforcement agency if we hire and promote more women. And I think our community needs that and deserves that. Sometimes with my tenure on the job, as I kind of approach my 29th year, that I've had a lot of influence on young officers, men and women alike, and oftentimes I'm approached by officers in the field to thank me for kind of opening a door that had previously been closed. We have female pilots, we have female canine handlers, we currently have a female SWAT officer. The only obstacles in our way are ourselves, and we need to get out of our own way and take what we're entitled to. I'm grateful that I was contacted about speaking on behalf of women for Women's History Month, and I'm excited that we're celebrating women and the contributions that we've made to this organization. My intention is to definitely leave this place better than I found it and help any women that I can along the way while I'm still here.
Today is the Blessing of the Animals here at Olvera Street. It's a tradition that's been part of Olvera Street since it opened in 1930, and it's a tradition that actually originated in the pueblo when this was all farmland, and the priest would bless the livestock so that the farmers would have a prosperous year. And over time, it's transformed into this beautiful blessing where we bring our mascotas, our pets.
It's a great idea to do it because pets, they're like our kids too. And God always said God loves his little children, and it includes pets too, right?
It's a tradition for us Hispanics and Mexicans. So all of us in our family, we've all been baptized. And I think it's important, you know, for her to be blessed and to have the Lord with her.
Esta es una tradición católica que nosotros desde muy pequeños nos han inculcado nuestros padres y que siempre tenemos que bendecir a nuestros animalitos para que sean unos mejores animalitos y nosotros seamos unas mejores personas.
I'm here to bring Princess Nori to get blessed since I don't have any kids.
You don't have to be Catholic or Christian to participate. Pets are beautiful parts of our life. They're animals that deserve to be blessed and cared for. And so regardless of your race, religion, creed, or gender, you are welcome here with your furry or feathered loved one.
During May, the city honored Asian American and Pacific Islander heritage and Jewish American heritage. Los Angeles is also home to the largest Armenian community outside of Armenia, and the city held a celebration to honor their contributions to the city of LA.
Every year since I've been on the council has set aside some time during April to recognize and remember the Armenian genocide. But more broadly, we're recognizing the contributions of Armenian heritage to Los Angeles and to the United States.
It's very important that the city of Los Angeles acknowledge Armenian Heritage Month because Los Angeles is home to the largest Armenian community in the world, really outside of the Republic of Armenia.
To have this remembrance of Armenian heritage and history in the Los Angeles City Council chambers is just mind-boggling to me.
So many Armenians and non-Armenians simply associate the genocide with things Armenian. Being Armenian is beyond being a descendant of a genocide survivor, but really it's about a vibrant culture and heritage that spans millennia, and that is indeed part of the fabric of this city and this country. I myself am such a proud Angelino. If there's any identity that is most important for me, it is the straddling of my Armenian and Angelino identities. So I think to have that kind of recognition from my city, it's very, very meaningful.
This will be the last year for me to lead this commemoration. Whether I'm here or not, future members of the council, long after I'm gone, will continue to recognize the important contributions of this community to the city of Los Angeles.
It's a calamity whose horror speaks to all manners of humanity across the world. We remain committed as ever to ensuring that such atrocities are never again committed.
We're at City Hall. We just finished 2 presentations, one on Yom HaShoah, which is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and the second presentation was on the Jewish American Heritage Month.
It's a way to recognize that the Jewish community has been part of the fabric of Los Angeles and this country for many, many years. On the very first city council, one of the members was a Jewish Angelino.
We honored dozens of Jewish organizations that are doing really important work across our city, assisting Angelinos of all backgrounds and in all neighborhoods, and so it was a real honor to bring them together.
Today we see the recurrence of, or the continuation of hate crimes, whether it's anti-Semitism or racism. That's not the solution. The solution is to bring morality and respect for everyone.
Our community-based organizations within the Jewish community do everything from helping folks with special needs, making sure that people have legal services, making sure there's recreational activities, and so we couldn't be more grateful as a city. The demographics where people look like me, our Latino community, Asian Pacific Islander community, those are the people that are getting served the most at many of our Jewish-led organizations, and that is something that we need to highlight and uplift, that is an example of an LA for everyone.
And they've made Los Angeles better.
Today's a special day. Today we're celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month to really highlight the different cultures that make our city so great. Our diversity really is our strength here in our Los Angeles.
As a Korean American, just to step out and celebrate with, my people and the people that look like me, it's just it's really great to be able to participate in this environment and just celebrate this month, honoring Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders.
We're so excited that there's so many people here to support, to learn about the contributions of the Asian American Pacific Islander community, to celebrate the artistry and the great work that the community provides.
Right now, what we're seeing in the Asian American community is that we're starting to be seen as in leadership roles. Traditionally, we didn't see many people in that CEO role or that general manager role here in the city. Now we have Korean American, Asian American general managers. We have the chief of police, Asian American. Me as a council member, we're starting to see those voices, and I think it really shows that if you're a young kid growing up in the city of Los Angeles, that really there are no boundaries in a city like this.
Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, all our cultures should be celebrated year-round, not just today. This month is just to kind of focus on that specific population, but we should be celebrating all of our cultures in the city of Los Angeles 365 days a year, all year round.
Juneteenth is an important part of our national history and a story that also needs to be heard and honored locally. Arnita Bennett spoke to Marquise Harris Dawson, council member and now council president, about the city celebrations for Juneteenth.
Well, Juneteenth marks a special day in U.S. history. On June 19, 1865, the last group of enslaved people in the country were freed. Joining us to discuss this freedom celebration here in the city of Los Angeles is Councilmember Marqueece Harris Dawson. Thank you so much for being here.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, once again, we do it again.
Yes, there it is, every June.
Okay, so Juneteenth has been a federal holiday for a few years now. So in your opinion, why is it important that we continue to celebrate this day?
Well, it's an important story to remember. It's part of the American story. It's part and parcel of the American story. Slavery is something that really isn't recognized in any other formal way as a part of U.S. history, and it's such a big part of who we are as a country and who we've been, and really vestiges of which we are still trying to overcome to this day. And then there are the particularities of the story of Juneteenth that just shows the struggle and working through something. And so, you know, we here in Los Angeles, we wish homelessness would go away tomorrow and we could just have solved that problem. The story of Juneteenth teaches that, you know, even after a war, after the government sent several people to Texas who didn't make it all the way to Texas for some reason.
So the word that about the Emancipation Proclamation did not make it to Texas.
Exactly. It didn't make it to Texas. Shows that you just got to stick with something. You got to stick with it over time, especially big problems. And so that's an important lesson that Americans, Angelenos, and everybody, frankly, around the world can use in their day-to-day life.
It really is incredible that it's been over 200 years and yet we still are dealing with some of these struggles.
That's right. That's right. You see it in every walk of American life. You know, you look at the people of African descent and you say, hey, what's going on there? And then you look at the history and you understand that that's how this country started. It started really with slavery, as President Obama called it, as the original sin. And we continue to try to work our way out of that generation after generation.
I want to talk more about Juneteenth. How are you celebrating the holiday?
Well, you know, we have several celebrations, formal celebrations now throughout the county of Los Angeles, certainly a lot here in the city, informal barbecues, picnics, so on and so forth. And so there will be a lot of that as well.
For people who want to give back for Juneteenth, instead of celebrating, doing something for the community, what would you recommend they do?
Well, you know, there's always our local organizations and our local churches. Everybody's doing something. You know, when you see people living on the street in your community, know that they always need underwear and socks. That is the #1 request of people living on the street. So there's that, but there's your local church is always doing something and your local community organization as well.
In terms of giving back, how do we use the momentum from Juneteenth, this positive energy, and take it into the future?
Well, you know, I think it's a great story. At one level, it's a sad story that people imagine being a slave and you have to stay a slave 2 years longer than was legally required because the news didn't get to you. Incredibly tragic, but also triumphant, right? Imagine you're living there and you think there's no end in sight. This is never going to get better. And then suddenly things change. And they change because people keep pushing for a better future.
Join El Pueblo at the birthplace of Los Angeles for the annual Fiestas Muertos celebrations. For over 35 years, El Pueblo, the Olvera street merchants, and the community have come together to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, and all are welcome. The weekend of Saturday, October 26th and Sunday, October 27th will feature 2 full days of fun at El Pueblo. Enjoy the community altars on display in the plaza, face painting, lots of entertainment, and all the merchant stalls. Each evening, Teatro del Barrio will present La Danza de la Muerte, followed by a colorful nighttime procession honoring loved ones who have passed. Head to El Pueblo for Fiestas Muertos on Saturday, October 26th and Sunday, October 27th from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on both days. For more information, visit elpueblo.lacity.gov/events. It's the spooky season, and it's time for Halloween Fest at the Venice Abbott Kinney Memorial Branch Library. Get ready for a spooktacular time at this festival, which will have something for everyone. Make some Halloween crafts, enjoy a magician show, and grab a sweet treat. Shake a leg or do the Monster Mash at the Halloween-themed dance party. At the Halloween Bark, Kids will have the chance to read to therapy dogs. It's sure to be a real howl. Come in costume to the Venice Abbott Kinney Memorial Branch Library and enjoy Halloween Fest on Saturday, October 26th, beginning at 12 noon. For more information, visit lapl.org/events. Join Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez for her annual festival celebrating Dia de los Muertos on Sunday, October 27th. Beginning at noon, this Day of the Dead celebration will feature community altars as well as food, music, and more. With featured entertainment from La Sonora Show, this is sure to be a fun family day out. Head to the Pacoima City Hall for Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez Dia de los Muertos Day of the Dead celebration on Sunday, October 27th from noon until 8 p.m. For more information, visit the website cd7.lacity.gov/events. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Michael Hernandez. From all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacitywview.org. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Angelinos and visitors. Welcome to your regularly scheduled meeting of the Los Angeles City Council. Today is the 22nd day of October in the year 2024. My name is Marquis Harris Dawson. I serve as president of the City Council. Public comment will be taken both in person in the council chamber and via teleconferencing for today's meeting. Can we begin our proceedings by calling the roll?
Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McOsker, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto, Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 14 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of October 15th, 2024.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky moves. Councilmember Krikorian seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Hernandez moves. Councilmember McOsker seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
All right, I'll ask Councilmember Park to lead the council and the chamber in the recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance.
My pleasure.
Everyone, please
Council
stand.
President, if you're able, please stand, face the flag, place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have Mr. Herman and at least one other disruptor. Those are the first warnings for both. Mr. Herman continues. Camille is the other one. Mr. Herman continues to disrupt. Those are your last warnings. Mr. Clerk, let's run through the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President. There is a request to continue item 3 to November 5th, 2024.
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Items 1 through 12 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 13 through 25 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Item 26 is a closed session item considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are before us. Members, are there any specials? Specials members, Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to recuse myself from items 2 and 21 because my wife's employer has worked with the applicant on this item. And out of abundance of caution, the city attorney has asked me to recuse myself from item 24 due to the fact that I am a landlord.
All right.
Thank you.
And before we move on, I believe that was Adam Smith who yelled out while Mr. Price was speaking. Mr. Smith, this is your first and only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
An amending motion for item 12, which can be read. Thank you.
Yes, so the amending motion reads that I move that item number 12 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following additional recommendation. And this is a request for a report back. Instruct the city administrative officer and request the city attorney to report on trends related to the number of cases and costs associated with the city's liability settlements from 2021 through 2024, including number of cases processed each year, broken down by cases handled by outside counsel versus the city attorney's office, settlement amounts by type of lawsuit, e.g. trip and fall, right-of-way road incidents, personnel, etc., settlement amounts for cases settled by outside counsel versus the city attorney's office, trends associated with outside counsel expenses, and comparison of the city's settlement amounts relative to similar cases handled by the County of Los Angeles. And I believe it's being co-presented also by Councilmember Park. And is there a second to this motion?
All right. Mr. McOsker. Mr. McOsker, special? You were seconding. Okay, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to call item number 24 for a separate vote, please.
All right, item number 24. Councilmember Hernandez.
Yes, thank you, Council President. I would like to call item 17 special for a separate vote and item 12 for questions.
All right, Mr. De Leon.
Mr. President, can do item 23 until Friday, the 25th of October.
Item 23 till Friday, the 25th of October?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this coming Friday.
And 9 for special comments.
9 for comments. All right, Councilmember Rodriguez?
Yes, item 10 for a separate vote.
Okay. All right, and I have a, Council District 8 has a special for item number 25. City Attorney has the language.
Yes, this is a technical amendment, so the motion reads that I move that item number 25 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following in lieu of recommendation 1 on today's council agenda with the changes indicated below. 1. Transfer and appropriate $316,832 from the Capital and Technology Improvement Expenditure Program Fund, number 100/54, appropriation unit number, and this is the new language, 00Y878, Browning Boulevard, 1700 pedestrian tunnel closure. And the following language is struck, 00Y977, pedestrian tunnel closure at Logan Elementary School. And that is the end of the new language. The rest of the recommendation remains unchanged.
All right.
And is there a second to this motion?
Councilmember Padilla seconds. Thank you. All right. Any other specials? All right. Seeing none, what items are available for us to vote on at this time?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 1, 4 through 9, and 11.
All right. Those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Mr. President, just before that, I believe there is a request to hold item 9 for questions by comments by Councilmember De Leon.
Okay. So can we reread the items that are before us?
Yes, the items before the council would be item 1, 4 through 8, and 11.
All right. Mr. Soto Martinez.
My apologies, Council President. I'd like to continue item number 4 for 2 months, please.
Okay. Without objection?
Thank you.
All right. So let's do it one more time. Which items are before us?
And for item number 4, for 2 months, that would be Friday, December 13th. So the items before council would be items 1, 5 through 8, and 11.
All right. Those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right. What's next?
Mr. President, would you like to take up item number 12 as amended?
All right, let's take item 12 as amended. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Mr. President, I'm sorry. Number 12, there is a request to hold that for questions by Councilmember Hernandez.
All right, but we can do that before, a public hearing has been held, so we can do that now, right? All right, Councilmember Hernandez.
Anybody coming at, who might I ask the questions to?
What's your question, and then we can call the people to the desk.
Well, I have several questions. I mean, it's not,
Or who are your questions for? Which departments or which
the
offices?
CAO's office, the one that
Okay.
wrote the report. Why is it?
All right, so we'll hold this until we get we'll make sure that the people that can address the questions you have are here. What's next, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, would you like to move on to item 26, the closed session item that was considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee?
All right, Mr. Blumenfield?
I think we can consider this an open session, a relatively small case heard by the Budget and Finance Committee, and we agreed with the city attorney's recommendation.
All right, so those items are now before us. If we can read those into if we need to read the settlements into the record and call the roll?
Yes, sir. For item 26 in the case entitled West 43rd Place LLC versus the City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $45,000 in settlement.
All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right, we have someone here from this, we have Mr. Ceja from the CAO's office with regard to item 12, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. So I will say that I think it's unfortunate that as a council, we're not getting the presentation that BFI got, because BFI is only a handful of members, and for such an important report, like we should have gotten a report here in full council. That's all I gotta say. I think it's really unfortunate that that didn't happen. But my question is, when it talks about item number 3 in the report, instruct departments to absorb overspending within their budgeted resources and adjust operations where necessary to do so, does this include future liability costs?
With regard to future liability costs, are you referring to settlements and judgments that may come before this
Yes.
council? In those cases, those unfortunately are not costs that are typically charged back to departments, if you will, with one exception being any salary costs due to, some type of employment case. That's why we have a liability account to pay for those things, and unfortunately this year that has been exhausted.
And so that's why I asked that question. If that account has been exhausted, and this item right here says, insofar as they require use of the general funds in the item before, would this not, why aren't we having the departments take that on if that money is then going to be pulled from the general fund?
Well, because when it comes to liability cases, at that, in many cases it's related to instances or scenarios that happened many years before even the general manager or new general managers there managing that department. Some of these cases are 4 or 5 years old, coming to a close through a settlement or a judgment, and so it's not something that we are able to budget for within department's resources. That's why, again, we have to set aside money every year for those cases.
Great, thank you. I have other questions, but without having the report being presented to us, I don't think that they matter being asked because it won't make sense without the context. So, thank you.
Councilmember De Leon.
I'm sorry. We need everybody who's booing to remain quiet so we can continue with this meeting. If you continue, Sergeants, can we please identify who that was? Okay. To anybody who's booing and stopping this meeting from continuing, again, you are subject to warnings and potential removal from this meeting. So please keep your boos quiet while we're trying to conduct the meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Item 21 for comments as well. Item 21 for comments.
You're asking for a special?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just forgot to list it. It's
okay.
not on the consent file.
As long as we didn't vote on it, I think.
We did not vote on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to it.
Thank you much.
Councilmember Soto Martinez?
Thank you so much, Council President. I have a couple of questions as well.
Okay, good.
Can you, yeah, we're on an item, yes, that's correct. Can you, so we've discussed prioritized critical hiring process in personnel and hiring. Want to have a moment to get our CAO here? How you doing?
Good morning. Can you
Good.
repeat the question?
Yeah, so the prioritized critical hiring process has been discussed quite a bit in personnel and hiring, and as folks have been tuning into that meeting know that I and other council members had pretty strong objections to continuing that. Can you please describe why you think, and it takes forever to hire folks here in the city of Los Angeles. There are positions that general managers have that become vacant that I think should be able to be filled and not go through the PCH process. Can you just please explain why you think we need to continue it the way it is right now?
So, good morning, Matt Zabo, City Administrative Officer. The prioritized critical hiring process was designed for this body to identify the priority positions, understanding that as we are facing some financial difficulties, we would make a choice to continue hiring the priority positions and then delay hiring of the non-priority positions. So in keeping the PCH process in place, we would still continue to hire the priority positions, approve the priority positions, but we would recommend keeping it in place, and that would require some slowing of the hiring of the non-priority positions until we are able to restore our reserve fund to 5%. So I'm being very direct, we are in the position where we need to generate some additional savings in our budget because of the much, much greater than expected required expenditures as it relates to liability claims.
Right, so are you saying that the commitment is, this is the thing that I'm worried about. We have already cut positions down to quite a bit. And constituents call us about streetlights, potholes, things like that are the services take forever with 311. If one of those positions, someone retires or gets fired or they got on a leave of absence or whatever reason, and we need to fill that position, I don't understand why we need to that position has to go through the PCH process once again. Because what's gonna end up happening is services are gonna continue to, be dwindled, and that concerns me as a council member. So, but if I'm hearing correctly, you're saying that position will be refilled?
Well, if I could just answer that with an actual case has occurred in the past. A department always has probably requests within the PCH process. So in this instance, say a position that is more urgent becomes vacant, and they would want to prioritize that ahead of the other ones that have been in the queue, we need to know that, because that way we will prioritize that urgent position that became vacant more recently above others that have been in the queue for a longer period of time. That's the whole process that has been established, is prioritizing those positions that are critical for services ahead of others that are still needed for services, but probably not to the same level of urgency as something that just came up.
Right, but is there a possibility that you will deny that position?
There is a possibility of that. It depends on the funding sources as well. If a position happens to be special funded or partially special funded, those obviously have some revenue source other than the general fund that will be helpful. So it all depends on the scenario.
Okay, I just want to be clear, but for the public to know what we're voting on. We're voting on the possibility of positions being vacated for whatever reason, people retire or they get fired, or it could be a ton of reasons. And there is a possibility that position will not be refilled. And I have issues with that. I think if we made a decision, this council made a decision in the last budget process to say what positions we wanted to keep and which ones we were able to go to the PCH. And so what we're hearing today is there are positions that we made a decision to keep on the budget that there's a possibility they will not be refilled. All right, so I have more questions, but I'm over time. Is there anybody else in the queue? No? Okay. The third recommendation is instruct departments to absorb overspending with their budget resource and adjust operations where necessary to do so. Do we have an analysis of which departments have traditionally gone over the budget that they have been given through the budget process, and how much are those amounts? Which departments are we talking about?
So that will be presented to you in the forthcoming financial status report, which we will be releasing by the end of this week, which will detail which departments are overspending their allotted budget.
But are we going to have how many, are you going to go back are you looking at just this year? Because I'm looking about, can we go back 5 years and see which departments have done this, have a habit of overspending their budget?
If that's the council's desire, we certainly could do that. The financial status report is a tool to manage the current fiscal year's budget, and so it will provide information about the current fiscal year's budget and recommendations to correct that.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to report back, if I may, just to have a report back of which departments have overspent their budget like in the last 5 years. I just want a historical analysis, because if we're going to go down this route, we have to be able to communicate to our constituents which departments are going to have the most trouble. Because if there is a department that has historically, or departments that have historically overspent, then if we're saying you got to now stay within your budget, then obviously they're going to have the most inflexibility to do their job, right? And so I want to know where those departments are at. So I don't know if I need to do a vote on that, but that's I would like the report back.
Will it suffice for the CAO to make such a commitment to us in the FSRPRS?
That's fine with me, yes.
Can you make such a commitment?
We can make that commitment, yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right. I have no more questions.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. And I don't know if you heard earlier, Matt, but I was really hoping that we would get that same presentation or a similar presentation that BFI got. I think it's unfortunate that we didn't get it here, especially when things are so dire in our budget. So I just want to share that with you now that you're here. But for item number 5 on the instructions, instruct the CAO and request the city attorney to report on potential strategies to limit future liability payouts. What does that look like? Because I've heard from attorneys that have worked cases opposition to the city attorney, or particularly around police liability, around police violence. And what those attorneys have shared with me is that sometimes they'll offer to settle in the beginning of the case, but the city attorney fights it, prolonging the case, increasing the cost of what the settlement would be, increasing the lawyer's fees for the opposition of these cases. Is that what we're looking to reduce? Are we looking, like, I would love to also see, do you have an itemized list of what one of these settlements looks like? Like, what are most of these settlement dollars going to? Are they going to legal fees, or are they going to actually people harmed? Because if it's going to legal fees, then we need to really assess, like, why do we keep fighting these cases if they're leading to such large payouts? Like, if we mess up, let's just be accountable and not add additional costs for at the end just to be held accountable for messing up. And I know that we try to defend, we don't try to be liable as a city, but this is just ridiculous seeing these costs and how long these cases are prolonged for. So that's what I would like to see, an itemized assessment of a couple of settlement cases to look at what those numbers are, but also if you could just kind of dive into what instruction number 5 could actually look like.
And thank you. And that is the intent of instruction number 5. That would be part of the analysis that we would bring back to the council. We have seen the number and magnitude of the settlements and judgments increase dramatically over the past 2 years. Historically, over the last 6 or 7 years, we have been able to maintain our liability at around the $100 million a year level. Last year, it far exceeded that by more than $100 million. And then, of course, this year, where we budgeted $100 million for liability claims, we have already incurred $260 million, and it is only October. So that we need to conduct that analysis, present it to the council. The amending motion that I heard introduced will also provide that will also provide important comparative analysis to see what's happening in our city, how that compares to similar settlements and judgments in other cities, so that we can try to narrow in on and focus in on how we can reduce that liability.
Got it, thank you. And I know before you came, we were talking about liability costs, and instruction number 3, instruction number 3 around having departments absorb some of their overspending. Why does that not include liability costs? I know that these cases are from the past, but it's still the same department, and some of these are for employment, some of them are for workplace, hostile environments. Like, sometimes it's time to learn a lesson. So why aren't we having departments be responsible for some of those actions?
That is a conversation that we can have and should have. We have discussed this in prior years. It has typically run up against the reality that should you have an extraordinary judgment against the Department of Transportation or Department of Street Services, for example, for a $15 or $20 million judgment, that could significantly cripple that department in that given year for its base operations. So we would need to figure out how to manage that if it is the desire of the council to hold departments more accountable for actions of their employees that would lead to to liability payouts, we should have that conversation, but we also need to be mindful of significant consequences and negative consequences it could have on basic services.
Agreed. And maybe it's not the full 15 million. Maybe we can start off at a percentage. Like, this is what you will be this percentage of your liability cost is what you'll be responsible for. And if those conversations have been happening for years and we still haven't come to a conclusion, please tell us. Or can we have that serious conversation and finally get this over the finish line? Because it's like history is repeating itself. And now we've inherited a budget that it's going to take us a long time to fix. So I would hope that we can finally get that across the finish line. So please, you let us know what we need to do or who needs to be at the table to make that happen, please.
Okay, understood, and that will be a component of the report back that we'll provide.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Krikorian?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you, Councilmember Hernandez, for raising that point, because that's it's a point that we have to continue to discuss, and I appreciate the motion introduced by Councilmember Yaroslavsky and
Sorry,
Councilmember Park today
Mr. Krikorian, let's stop. Somebody's having a medical problem in the back that we need to either get them care or...
Yeah, maybe we can get them care outside of the council chambers.
We can get them, and now Jason Reedy's disrupting the meeting. First warning. Mr. Krikorian.
Thank you. When it comes to situations of extraordinary liability, it obviously would not be fair to impose that burden on a department. It could be ruinous to their operations. But ordinary liability, the sort of thing that happens every day that we get many, many cases about, I think a strong argument can be made. And I just want to give an example of one time that I tried to impose this when I was on the claims board, when the Department of Recreation and Parks, you know, Mr. President, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. Can we deal with the situation?
Yeah, if we can't...
Just get them out, please.
Yeah, this person who's coughing has disrupted the meeting several times. We're going to ask them to leave.
I'm going to guess it's going to be contagious, too.
Yeah.
And Camille Lewis, you have also been warned already, so you were disrupting the comments made by Councilmember Krikorian. So please do not disrupt this meeting or you will be subject to removal.
All right. Now, just for a little bit of history, there was a case involving Recreation and Parks in which somebody stepped in a hole on a basketball court, fell down a hillside next to the basketball court, and was fairly severely injured. And we ended up settling that case for over $500,000, I think. And so in claims board, I asked Recreation and Parks, what could have been done to prevent this case from happening? And they said, well, we needed to, you know, fill that hole in the thing. And I said, okay, do you do that yourself or do you contract it out? Well, no, we just call somebody. How long would it take? Usually we can get it done in a day. How much would it cost? A few $100s. So there's no excuse of lack of personnel, lack of funding, or anything else. It's just not getting around to solving the problem that's right in front of their eyes every single day. And as a result, somebody was severely injured. So there are many times in our departments where, you know, we need to impose greater responsibility, greater accountability on managers to manage in a way that will reduce liability. We just do. So that's that thought. In terms of early settlement, I mean, these are things that we need to review, and hopefully a comparison with other government entities like the county will help produce some of those results. But Councilmember Hernandez, in my experience, I've more often been disappointed in the other direction, that the city attorneys have said, well, you know, we didn't bring a summary judgment motion because we didn't have time, or we didn't have the personnel, or our caseload is too high, or something like that, that the defense of the city was not as aggressive as it should be. But there are many cases, especially involving civil rights violations or other things, where there are attorney's fees obligations, and that changes the whole dynamic. So again, this is someplace where we need to look closely, comparing between a trip and fall or an employment case. Those are very different situations, and so we really need to take a very deep dive in this, because we had year after year after year, we were budgeting liability at around 80 or 100 million a year, and then it bumped up to about 120, and we got really concerned about that increase. And it's more than doubled now in 2 years. That's not because of some change in practice by the city. It clearly isn't. This is stuff that has happened years ago that's now becoming ripe for settlement or trial, and jury awards are going through the roof, and there's something else going on that we need to get to the bottom of. It seems like juries do not understand that the wrongdoer is not necessarily held accountable. It's city services that are lost when there's a trial judgment like that. So we definitely need to drill down onto the underlying cause of this. Okay, so that's all on that. The main question I had for you, we do have significant revenue shortfall compared to budget. Usually our budget projections over the years for revenues have been quite accurate. We have a historical track record, other than during the collapse of COVID, when revenue projections were very accurate. So what are some of the elements that you see that caused a shortfall in revenues over projections this year?
Well,
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the principal issue that lowered the projected and adopted reserve fund level of 5.07% down to the 4.12% was revenues coming in below projections by the year end, and it took some months to do the final close the final books. The main areas where revenue was down were in the most economically sensitive areas: business tax, sales tax, and hotel tax. What we saw last year and what we discussed during the budget process and during the management of fiscal 23-24's budget was that we were feeling the effects. The local economy was responding to the high inflation rates of the past 2 years and the high interest rates. We're seeing inflation come down because the high interest rates are doing their job, but they're doing their job by slowing the economy. And a slowed economy meant that there was less business tax, less sales tax, and there wasn't, and our international tourism still has not rebounded fully. We see some signs of, some optimistic signs with the interest rates being lowered, and with some projections that they will be lowered even further. Inflation is down not to where it needs to be, but to a much more sustainable rate. Those are positive signs, but the impact that it had in the revenue that we brought in last year persisted throughout. So we will report in our financial status report our first indications of where revenue is for the first part of this year. They will be very early. There will not be a lot of data. But at that point, we'll be able to make some assessment as to whether the revenue is continuing to decline below projections or not.
Thank you.
Councilmember Padilla.
I just kind of wanted to, after hearing everyone speak thus far, I'm hoping somebody agrees with me and potentially seconds. In Section 5 of the instructions, that in addition to having the CAO and the city attorney to report on potential strategies to limit future liability payouts, that we also include the departments, because I think our departments would also be able to say, these are the 10 things that we think could potentially cause a liability case, but these are the top 5 that are the most important that we think need to be fixed as soon as possible. So I would like to amend that we also include in Instruction 5 the departments.
All right, you have a couple seconds, Mr. Hernandez, Ms. Padilla. All right.
Could I make a recommendation that it be the CAO and city attorney working with the departments that are responsible for most of the liability payouts? Because we will need to work with them, but it might be better to, instead of having multiple strategies coming to you, for us to work with each department to consolidate the recommendations.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. If I could just make an ask, I know that we're supposed to ask for presentations, but can it just be like a commitment because the budget is so tight that when these things come up that we have a presentation? Because I'll make the ask, but if it could just be automatic.
Yes, so, Mr. Hernandez, a couple things. I think, one, you can always make the ask, that's true, but also we will have before this council the financial status report in a couple weeks?
It'll be released Friday.
Friday?
Yes.
And then it'll be in front of this council, and we'll make sure we have a full presentation that will go over liability and all the other areas of the council. So I'll make that commitment to you now that we'll be prepared to have a full commitment then.
Great, thank
Full
you. And-
presentation then.
Thank you, and then also the report backs on these instructions as well in the
Yes.
future? Okay, thank you.
All right, so we can do all that together with the FSR report in front of full council?
We should be able to. We'll be able to report, when we report on the FSR, we'll provide as much information as we're able to gather by that time.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I don't see any other speakers on the queue, so we've got an amendment on the floor first, I believe, Mr. Clerk?
Yes, sir. Believe there was an amending motion introduced by Councilmember Padilla and seconded by Councilmember Hernandez.
All right, that amendment is before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 eyes.
All right, what's next?
We will have to vote on the item as amended.
All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 eyes.
All right, what's next? Thank you.
Mr. President, the council may now vote on item 10. It was called special for a separate vote by Councilmember Rodriguez.
All right, and a comment? Okay, Council, any comments? No comments on this one? All right, let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
12 eyes, 2 noes.
All right, Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Can we hold item 13 for some minor clarifying amendments that we're working on right now, please?
All right, so we'll
Thank
come
you.
back to 13 because there are amendments or changes in the works.
And
All right,
Mr. President, there is a request to send item 10 forthwith.
all right, without objection, that'll be the order. What's next?
I believe that takes care of the items, Mr. President. You can move on to public comment.
All right, before we move on to public comment, I want to recognize items 14 and 15, which we'll vote on after public comment. But as they are here, our two nominees for Charter Commission, Martin Schlater and Jorge Nuno, are with us today. I just want to recognize them and give members the opportunity to, one, meet them, and two, ask any questions that they would have at this time. All right. Seeing none, we will go through public comment, and we'll come back to the items at the end of public comment. And with that, we'll read the instructions for public comment into the record.
Yes, sir. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phones, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak to. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 13 through 22 and items 24 and 25. So again, let me repeat. The items that are open for public comment are items 13 through 22 and items 24 and 25. Item number 23 has been continued to to October 25th. Members of the public may also speak for up to 1 minute for general public comment. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else in the city's subject matter jurisdiction. For members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you will forfeit your speaking time and we will have to move on to the next caller. Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the feedback and the time delay, it will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on your other devices. Thank you.
I will begin by calling several names. Dr. D. Lupia Kua, Greenspan, Henry Marini, Andrew Graebner, Brianna Floyd, Yahoo Sinwa, Jaime Cusick, Donald Harlan, Vincent Leaphart, in Audit, LA.
Yeah, I want to speak on all items and non-agenda public comment.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Well,
public
thank
comment.
you, Mr.
Please
Bar
begin with the
License
items.
317-217 in my complaint. Well, we know that on item 20, we have a rescinding counsel on this fucking path on homelessness. But what does that dumb bitch know about birria when we know that Noodles has done really nothing to compromise the path and the bridge between what David O. Carter has said at the Brentwood and UCLA suck a dick to transfer 37882 to the general city purpose. No, bitch. Judge Carter ordered you to build fucking housing for veterans, you dumb cunt. And instruct and authorize the fucking clerk, you up there, China boys, to process the neighborhood coalition to fix his fucking enterprise of criminal corruption and development. That's the path and that's the bridge I'm connecting to, Pumpkinhead. Then, on Kevin DeLeon, who never would say fuck the police, but the other candidate did, fuck her too. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, in her support to instruct LAHD obligate funds to project funds to be transferred. Is this stealing? I don't know. Let's ask the GOAT guy. Oh, he don't know. He's too fucking busy talking to Hernandez. But I'll ask the controller to look into the instructions that David O. Carter, the judge, ordered you white niggers to fix the housing problems. Then I go
which
into
item are you speaking to?
Oh, Pumpkinhead, I only get 60 seconds and you interrupted me. Don't do that. That is gross, Grope.
Which item are you speaking to?
Well, now I'm on CD 14, motherfucker, which is 23. Isn't that up on the board?
So item 23, if you were listening, was
you're
continued.
Right. I meant 24, nigga, because I can't
ahead.
read. I can't read. On the flexibility and design and policies of the fucking landlords who raise the rents against me, a white nigger too, who's trying to save America from the overcharging of rent control, in which, again, only Kevin DeLeon can save us from this shit. After all, I'm not the one saying fuck the police. She said it. Besides that, to resolve the 22, 23, 24 state legislative program, which I don't propose and support, fuck all rent, fuck all landlords, and fuck the city of Los Angeles for allowing this shit to happen. Fuck you. Now for my general public comment. So, We all understand that Brentwood and UCLA suck a dick is in a lot of trouble with Judge David O. Carter, who put his military boot up your ass for stealing. Steve Soboroff is a fucking criminal, and that's the reason why he's no longer on the LAPD Police Commission, in which we should audit and investigate what criminal problems he created with LAPD. Fuck the police. Niggas with attitude, that's my problem. I will always have a problem with the police, because the goddamn police is to protect and serve, not watch and see that we have these fucking people sleeping on our fucking sidewalk and streets while the fucking mayor, that goddamn fucking twat, doesn't do a goddamn thing to save me from all this shit. So in other words, 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely, fuck the police.
Okay, before the next speaker comes up, I understand that the words and the language that Mr. Herman, your time is done. You have already been warned. Please vacate the podium. Thank you. So, for everybody who's here, if this is your first time, we do apologize. Mr. Herman uses Speaker, please listen to what I'm saying. Speaker, this is your first and only warning. Please, before you say anything, listen to what I'm about to say. So, Speaker, please.
Pastor Thomas, you're disrupting the meeting. I am so sorry you're disrupting the meeting. Use your first warning.
So, if you just listen.
This is your second warning.
Again, so what I'm trying to say is that we recognize, so the speaker who's in the black cap, unfortunately.
Pastor Thomas, you're excused from the meeting. Pastor Thomas, we're asking you to leave the meeting.
Okay, so Pastor, I apologize. You have been excused from this meeting. So again, we apologize for the offensive language that's used by Mr. Herman, and I suspect will be used by other speakers during their public comment. So they are trying to, my guess is bait people into interrupting this meeting to voice their opinions about being offended. So we hear you, but we have to allow it during the public comment. If it happens again outside of their specific individual public comment period, we will address it as a disruption to this meeting. But during public comment, please don't give them the time of day and do what they want you to do, which is essentially to interrupt the meeting, which forces us to warn the people who are stopping the public comment from continuing. So, again, none of this is condoned or approved by City Council. It is a part of the public comment process.
Mr. De Leon.
Thank you much, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I rise in support of file item number 9, which is a motion to accept the generous donation of $1.5 million for a brand new soccer field at the new park currently being constructed under the 6th Street Bridge. This contribution is thanks to the generosity of the TM23 Foundation, founded by Nikki and Doug Mark, after their son Tommy's tragic passing just shy of his 13th birthday. Tommy Mark was an avid soccer player who played for the LA's Galaxy's Youth Academy, as well as Los Angeles Football Club, LAFC, Youth Soccer Academy. By all accounts, Tommy was warm, he was very happy, and generous kid who loved his friends. He loved his family, he loved music, reading, and of course, he loved football, soccer. Determined to honor their son's legacy by preserving and sharing the same spirit of which Tommy lived his life, Nikki and Doug, her husband, created the TM23 Foundation so that kids all across Los Angeles could experience the joy and the community that Tommy felt while playing football. I'm honored to be here today, to be joined here by Tommy's mother, Nikki Mark, so that both I and the rest of the council, along with our council president, Mr. Marquis Harris Dawson, can properly express our sincere gratitude for you and Doug's generosity. Nikki, thanks to you and Doug and Tommy, generations of young Angelenos will be able to experience all of the benefits that participating in team sports brings, like building confidence, learning leadership skills, and the importance of teamwork, supporting their mental health support, and improving their physical fitness. This is especially important for a community like Boyle Heights, where the park will be. We're in current construction of this park. There'll be 12 acres, 2 soccer fields, 1 multi-purpose field. We're gonna have a skate park, an aquatic park, bathrooms, as well as a basketball courts. This is going to be impactful because we have worked hard the last 4 years in City 14. Now, this is going to be possible because of you, and we're going to name one of our soccer fields the Tommy Marks Field because of your generosity. So, Nikki, I want to say on behalf of the Boyle Heights community, the 14th Council District, and all of my colleagues here today, I want to thank you for sharing Tommy's legacy and our city. For your commitment to giving kids across Los Angeles access to high-quality athletic facilities. Mr. President, I'm sorry, we have such very rude guests here today. We're discussing this right here. Yes, yeah. Very rude and very disrespectful.
Look, if Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, so if I could have, so the gentleman in the vest who's pointing, and the black cap with the red mark on it, this is your first and only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting, or else you will be subject to removal.
Mr. White, you're disrupting the meeting. That's your second warning. Look.
Mr. President, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. The motion is passed, and thank you for your gift to the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Yesenia Velar, TJ, Susie Shannon, Rodolfo Gomez, R. James Thomas, Raul Vasconez, Ramiro Lecu, Pete White, Nicole McEloise, Mickey Jackson.
Okay. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Good morning, homie. Number 17. To support the LAPD, yes, absolutely. I support every single agenda that support LAPD department. We need additional police services in the District 12. I don't know whose district is that, but I know right now there's a criminal looting, criminal rioting, criminal robbery, criminal rapist, a criminal interruption on all areas, everywhere in the city of LA. So we need definitely support whatever council member who are supporting additional police services. This agenda talking about Topanga division, and then I am familiar with that division, and then in that division, they are a huge staffing shortage of LAPD officers. Those LAPD patrol officers, they are working 60 hours, 70 hours every week. They do not have a chance to enjoy with their family. That's not okay. I am here to support the LAPD Topanga division and the LAPD all division. Good morning, homie. Number 18, regarding additional homeless services for Watts. I'm here to support additional homeless services. As a member of the homelessness, I never receive any services from my council member District 1. If any council member wants to support additional homeless services, I am the #1 supporter. I'll be the #1 cheerleader. The only issue is that everyone talking about additional homeless services in real life, no action. I'm still seeing a lot of violent removal of homelessness. I'm still seeing homeless people does not have a food, does not have water. Sometimes even myself, I have to call Council Hernandez. Where can I get more food? Where can I get more water? So I definitely believe that we only talking about homeless. We never do much about homeless. Number 22, good morning, my homie. Number 22 is about speeding bump and the speed table in the council district 2. I actually voiced my concern numerous times in this council that there are so many street takeover. Yesterday, there's a Dodger victory, and then there's several Dodger fans did a street takeover. So we need more speed bump. We need more speed tables across all districts of the city of LA. And then right now, what I'm seeing without the speed bump, without speed hump, right now, even some in certain intersection with speed bump, there are still so many street takeover. Drivers doing donut, driving are taking over the street. So innocent people cannot use the intersection, cannot drive home peacefully and safely. General public comment. I am here to support Israel. I am here to support my Jewish brothers, Jewish sisters, my Jewish family in the city of Israel, country of Israel. You do not get a ceasefire after you invade our country. You will never get a ceasefire. You are still holding us hostages. You will never have a ceasefire when you continue to attack our country. I am here to support
can you
Israel.
pause this time really quick?
Mr. City Attorney, if we're going to have,
there will be no more.
I'm sorry,
ceasefire.
Speaker, you're going to wait. Mr. City Attorney, I just want us to advise the folks in the gallery that if we can't conduct this meeting, we will clear the chambers and we will carry on with the council's business going forward.
Yes, so again, I understand that people are talking about things that may be very offensive to other folks, but during their public comment, we need to allow them to speak. So again, it does not reflect the views of this council. It does not reflect the view, if you continue to interrupt their public comment, then you yourself may be subject to a warning and potentially removal from this meeting. Sorry, go ahead.
There will be no ceasefire until you release Israeli hostages. There will be no ceasefire until you surrender. There will be no ceasefire until all of our Israeli brothers, Israeli sisters, Jewish brothers, Jewish sisters return their home in Israel safely, safe and sound. There will be no ceasefire until all of the Israeli in Los Angeles can worship, can go to work, can go to school safely without harm. There will be no more ceasefire until you surrender.
Speaker, your time has expired. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, Henry Marini. It is 3 items, so I believe that's a total of 3 minutes, as well as general public comment, 16, 17, 18. Let me know when I'm ready to start on agenda items.
Go ahead. You
and
have
then
3 minutes
public
for the items and 1 minute for general.
So, I've come here a very long way from the great state of New York, and item 16 is trying to use council time on whether a Hollywood actor needs to have their name instated on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, if you're going to waste council time on whether a Hollywood actor's name is going to go on Hollywood Boulevard, how about addressing the fact that a Chomo actor by the name of Tom Cruise is still on Hollywood Boulevard? I'm here to protest Scientology, and you best believe that if this council wants to waste its precious time concerning whether a Hollywood actor needs to be on the Hollywood Boulevard or not, how about addressing the fact that a Chomo simp like Tom Cruise is still on there, who is very affiliated with Scientology? And I'm at this point speaking more or less directly to you, Mr. City Attorney. If your office is out there wasting precious government time on whether a Chomo cult is able to have members of its affiliation have its name on there, that's absolutely disgusting. For 17, item number 17, if the LAPD is still requesting more time, yet when it comes to issuing a arrest warrant for a child sex predator who's a Scientologist by the name of Anthony D'Amato Jr., and they're dragging their fucking feet on it. Yet I can find out where this guy is located and do your damn job by communicating with Electronic Arts. This guy is streaming on Apex Legends. We have his fucking address, yet your office is out there not issuing an arrest warrant, and the LAPD apparently can't be bothered to do their fucking job and also arrest this guy. He's not the only child sex predator, so why is it that more funding for the LAPD continues to not be used for arresting the real predators out there, the real dangers to the community, child sex predators? And now for general public comment. You dropped Surge's charges, you're going to drop my charges, and you know it's bullshit. Vandalism, are you fucking kidding me? I was out there cleaning the fucking public easement, and everybody and their mother agrees with me. I talked to 4 different officers on 3 different occasions that night, City Attorney. Look me in the fucking eye when I talk to you. I came here from all the way to the great state of New York to hunt down the child sex predators that apparently your own city cannot do and your office of law enforcement cannot be bothered to fucking do. What are you doing with your time, man? This is your legacy. If it needs to be, I will come there and protest your house for you being a Chomo protector. The world fucking knows what you guys are doing. We have the emails. We even have video footage where they're using children to massage adults using baby oil at the fucking Scientology locations. This isn't a fucking joke. Do your job. The world is watching.
Just as an FYI, before we move on to the next speaker, to the extent that you have concerns about felonious conduct, you may want to, or anybody who has complaints about that, may want to reach out to the DA's office, as the city attorney's office does not have the authority to prosecute felonies.
Yeah, the asshole's actually right about that.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
That's right, yes. And on this wonderful day to celebrate Kevin De Leon, let's give him a hand. Fuck yeah. And let's look at the good work that he's doing in number 21. 4 properties. Look at this. For what? Affordable housing. How come you can't do this, Unisys? How come Kevin can do it? Oh, because Kevin gives a fuck. That's right, he does. Now we have speed bumps in CD2. The Paul Martin Krikorian speed bumps. He is a speed bump. A fucking nobody speed bump. How fitting to put fucking speed bumps in a speed bump asshole district. And then we have a formal complaint with the CPUC filed by Kevin. Kevin's going after these cocksuckers from the Union Pacific Railroad blocking. Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. That's right. That's right. He's turned informant. He's down in El Sereno, turning them in.
So, Mr.
sending
Spindler,
them
if
to
you
the
were
police
listening earlier, this
department.
item has been continued. So please move on to another item.
No, you're not going to hit. I have to. Ew! I told you not to do that. Ew! Let's get fucking down. I told you to look at that. I'm busy. Number 24, is that open? Holy shit, that hurt my nose. Ew. So now we have Prop 33, the Justice for Asshole Renter Act, to give the design policies to ensure landlords a reasonable return? Wait a minute. Authored by whom? Communist Soto Martinez Stalin and Nithya Raman Noodle? How can you do that? How can you be in favor of the private sector? You're violating your oath of communism. Let's give them a boo. Boo. That's right. I move to amend that we need to confiscate all of the rental properties from the landlords and give the fucking rent free to all of the Angelinos who vote for Kevin De Leon. Let's do that. That's right. That's right. That's what we're going to do. And Unisys agrees with me, don't you? Yes, you do.
Speaker, you've exhausted your time on that item.
Oh, okay. You're not going to hit me? Why would I ever do that? Oh, number 25, the Ghetto District. Marquise Sleazy wants an MLK Junior School to close the pedestrian tunnel where they sell all the drugs to the kids? Let's give him a hand. Holy shit. Now you just put out a third of the drug dealers in your district, asshole.
General public comment?
Yes, and as today, Goat Puppet is formally endorsing Kevin De Leon for re-election. Let's give him a hand. Yeah, well done. That's right. After listening to his opponent ripping the fucking LAPD apart, I realize that's my job. I'm the one that criticizes LAPD, not the city council members. The city council members' job is to lick the boots of all the police, to suck the cocks of all of the police. That's the job over here on the Horseshoe. My job is to be the critic. So I don't want anybody here on the council standing up to the cops. You got it, Unisys? You got it, Stalin? Over there, you got it? See, because when there's a problem and a woman is raped, they have no choice but to call 911 and be on hold for 35 minutes. So after the rape is completed, they can do this. Finally, fuck the police. That's my role.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
I already told you, Marquise. What does it say on your screen?
So, as I've told you before, I
I'm
do
asking
not have the
Marquise.
screen. So, which
Presiding
items would you
officer.
like to speak to? I'm going to give you 1 minute for general. Which items?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 24, 25, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, so we're starting off with item 14. Item 14 and 15 are Marquise Harris Dawson appointments to the Charter Reform Commission. To make sure that people nominated to the Charter Reform Commission are ones who will actually reform the charter for the better instead of the worse. I see one of these came from like Weezar's office. That's kind of weird. But yeah, you have like, you know, Weezar staffers on the Charter Commission. So that's kind of interesting. Let's move on to item 16. Item 16 is Walk of Fame star. Maybe before you put the Walk of Fame star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you should repair the sidewalks so people don't trip, fall, and sue the city. You know, increasing the deficit with all those liability payouts. So you could fix the sidewalk on the Walk of Fame so it's safe for people to walk on. Then you can put the Hollywood Walk of Fame star on there. We have item 17. Item 17 is police funding in CD12 from City Staffer B. No on police funding in any council district. The LAPD doesn't need more money, it needs less money. The LAPD is the number one reason we're in a deficit right now, because the LAPD gets so much money for those you know, that contract, you know. The LAPD doesn't need more money. It should defund and abolish the police. Now we have item 17. Item 17 is... or wait, no, that was 17. Okay, so item 18, I think. 18 is funding for services for unhoused people. Hopefully this is stuff that will actually get people housed and not just, you know, more sweeps and such. We have item 19, a motion from the racist Kevin De Leon. That's 19. That's also 19, 21, Nithya. Why are you seconding motions from Kevin De Leon? I don't know where Nithya is. I don't even see her. But yeah, you saw Kevin be racist earlier today in the meeting. So you know he's still racist. Why are you seconding his motions? So no on anything introduced by Kevin De Leon. 24 is Prop 33. I think that was okay. It's like more. All right, let's move on to general public comment. Marquise, why do you keep lowering my hand every time I call in to give public comment? I've called into like every meeting for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't been able to speak once. You know, I call in, I find you've lowered my hand, or at least my hand is for some reason lowered. Why I'm not lowering it. I raise it, I don't lower it, but I find my hand lowered because clearly you don't want me to speak or something. Why do you keep lowering my hand? Or why is it being lowered like that? So Kevin decided to be racist during today's meeting, making comments about how people protesting him are rude or something. You know who was rude? The one who was making racist comments on the Fed tapes. The one who keeps assaulting people, verbally threatening us in the council chamber. Kevin is the racist one. You need to resign.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I'll just do public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
A group of us are here, and I am with them to come before you to say, no more spending on the police. You wonder why you're being sued and paying out so much in lawsuits? A lot of it is going to families of people killed by the police. LAPD is murderous. We know that. Crime is down. We should be defunding the police completely instead of giving them every single penny that they want and even more on various side deals that the city does with them. This is a shameful city council who thinks that this city is going to survive supporting this police department. It will not survive because this is a deadly city with a deadly police department. This has to stop, and it has to
Speaker,
stop
your time has expired.
now.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Jamie Kusick, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Jim McDonnell represents Karen Bass's lack of interest even in paying liberal lip service to diversity and inclusion. Her election of yet another ancient white man to the highest throne of power in the city is further proof that LAPD is a patriarchal, white supremacist institution to its core. Her decision is an appeal to far-right Confederate flag conservatives who wish that McDonnell had murdered even more black and brown folks during his infamous stints in Long Beach and as sheriff. This choice is dangerous, but it is also idiotic because we will get rid of McDonnell even faster than we got rid of Charlie Beck and Michael Moore. There has never been more support for abolition in LA than there is right now. Even white women like Michelle and myself know that we are not served and are certainly not protected by police, and that no one could be elected to this position that would actually serve the people's interests. And all I have to say to LAPD, LASD, LAPC, and their supporters is that you better find another line of work before your
Speaker,
job
your time has expired.
Fire Chief McDonnell.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Catherine Walker, Baba Akili, Karen Flanagan, Celia Lopez, Eduardo Martinez, Etta Hindra, Francisco Salcido, Jennifer Clark,
Okay, so before the next speaker begins, I'm just as an FYI, for anyone who's giving public comment, we can hear you. Please do not yell into the microphone, especially if you're really close like this. The interpreters are interpreting into Spanish in real time, and they're wearing headphones. So it also actually is easier to hear you if you're a little bit further from the mic. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Item 17, and then all the Kevin De Leon items.
So I'm going to give you 3 minutes for the items, and then we'll go.
And you
if
can't
could
comment on
identify them
23.
one by one.
Correct?
So, and you have 1 minute for general.
I'm asking you, you can't comment on 23?
23 has been continued, so it is not open for public comment.
Okay.
So you have 3 minutes for the other items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
All right, so today is 022, a day of action against the police state against police brutality and repression. It's also the day that this council will gift $50,000 to the LAPD overtime account that has already allocated at least $225 million a year. This happens as our budget is in crisis due to a budget deficit. Yes, Papa. Caused by giving historic amounts of money to the LAPD. That's the something going on that Krikorian was referring to earlier. He didn't want to name it. Now, arrests in Skid Row in July of 2024 were over 20 times the number they were in July 2023, and over half of those arrested were black. LAPD is overseen by Errol Southers, the founder of a Santa Monica PAL program that led to the molestation of over 200 children. LAPD has stolen the lives of Melly Corrado, Takar Smith, Valentino Oriana Peralta, and unfortunately the list goes on. LAPD has targeted Melina Abdullah by swatting her house. LAPD has arrested and beat many of us here in the audience today, and LAPD was caught tailing my partner, the beautiful mother of this child. We're ending here in May. Again, this is all the money that you sent to police. This is what they're doing with it, okay? Now, fuck the police. Some say that this phrase is a disqualifier for public office, but apparently being racist means you're qualified for public office. Dehumanizing a black boy means you're qualified for public office. Plotting to disenfranchise black people means you're qualified for public office, but saying fuck the police, wow, that's far enough. Now, we read about the LAPD disciplinary reports where pigs who the department finds guilty of things like inappropriately handcuffing
Speaker, a I person, can't tell detaining a which person item you're without speaking cause, to. You're welcome to illegally speak to this
conducting a
during
search
general.
after consent was withdrawn, failing to report misconduct to a department supervisor, approving overtime reports for hours of work not performed for subordinates, all without consequence, and all from patrol, what this money is going towards. And all you want to do is fund their violence, their harm, their corruption, because you are the gatekeeper to that. You unleash these pigs in our communities every chance you get. I'm going to public comment now.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
So Kevin De Leon, this might be the last time I see you before you take that L in November. I want to remind people that you are a predator. You are suing me for stalking while parading around your diehard supporter Najee Ali, a man who has stalked numerous black women. How do we know that? Look no further than the numerous restraining orders granted against him. See, we deal with facts, like how you have your campaign literally following around Isabel Jurado's 15-year-old daughter. 15 years old, and your campaign staff is following her around. All right, you target children. That's what you like to do. Your canvassers are threatening people, putting out box cutters, following Isabel supporters to their cars after debates. Kevin, you always talk about single mothers working, especially your mother who worked her fingers to the bone, all while demonizing a single mother that beat you in the primary and will beat you come November 5th. And again, you want to say that she was racist against Latino men? We don't forget, you're the racist one, Kevin. You're the racist one. You're the one that's used the media to wage your anti-black campaign against people like me,
Speaker, your
against
time has
organizations
expired.
like BLMLA and LA CAN, against organizers like
Mr.
General
Reedy,
Dogon.
your time has expired. Mr. Reedy, you have already been warned, so please vacate the podium or you'll be subject to removal. Mr. President, Mr. Reedy is eligible for removal as he was warned earlier in this meeting. We have asked him to please vacate the podium and he is still disrupting this meeting.
Please remove Mr. Reedy. You're excused from the meeting, Mr. Reedy. You're excused from the meeting, Mr. Reedy.
Mr. Reedy, we cannot continue this meeting until you exit the room quietly. Okay, next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
McDowell. General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead. Actually, hold on. Before we start our time, and actually, can you restart our time? We just need to wait for the room to quiet down so we can hear you. We'll restart your time. So, Sergeants, I believe I hear Camille Lewis as well. Can you please confirm that? Ms. Lewis, you have been warned already, actually multiple times. So, again, please do not disrupt this meeting or it will be subject to removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12. Okay, so let's try this again. Go ahead. You have 1 minute for general public comment.
I am speaking on general comment. First of all, my name is Catherine Walker. I'm speaking on the McDowell that you got, the guy that you guys are trying to appoint for the new police chief. Okay, I've stood before Police Chief Moore. First, I wanted to introduce, this is my son, Grishario Mack. This is my son, Grishario Mack. He was killed by LAPD in 2018. I'm here as a mother crying for the justice of my son. Yes, you guys may say, oh, I'm gonna pay this mother because we took their son's life. But guess what? No amount of money can pay for the life of my son. And you guys are appointing these guys into your office that say that they can't do anything about these police officers that's killing our children. I pray that God places the right man upon the podium and upon these benches.
Your time has expired.
To give us justice. I'm a grieving mother. My son's birthday
I understand. I apologize,
killed.
but we have to give the same amount of time to everyone. So.
We can't do that, okay.
So, Speaker, we have to
The
give
time
the
is,
same
the
amount of
time
time
is
to
expired.
everybody.
Her time is expired. The time is expired. We're going to ask you to leave the podium. Thank you so much.
Okay. So everybody who's yelling out, this is your only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. Sergeants, I can identify the gentleman who's about maybe 8 rows back in the hat with the beard was yelling out, disrupting this meeting. I see the woman in the white blouse. Again, please do not disrupt this meeting. We have to give everybody the same amount of time during public comment. If you would like, you are also welcome to submit written public comments to the clerk's office as well. And to the extent you have materials that you would like to share with this council, you can give them to the sergeants and they will make sure that they are circulated. Thank you. I'm sorry, the next speaker, please.
That's all. Just back up. She'll walk. Just back the fuck up. Come on, man. Back the fuck up. That's all. Just, hey, Duarte, back the fuck away, man.
Mr. Spindler, please do not disrupt this meeting. Okay, next speaker, please.
They can stand the fuck around all they want. What am I doing?
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
TJ, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Firstly, Stop Cop City, Stop Cop Nation. Secondly, LAPD has a proven and undeniable history of violence, racism, and murder of Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. LAPD has a 155-year legacy of brutality from Rodney King to Ezell Ford and Keenan Anderson. We overwhelmingly reject Jim McDonald's potential appointment as LAPD chief. His failed leadership at the corrupt Los Angeles Sheriff's Department has allowed nurtured and grown racist deputy gangs. They flourished under his failed leadership, and the increased violence and death under his department cannot be ignored or overlooked. Reject McDonald's appointment. Also, again, Stop Cop Nation. We demand that LA City Council pass a moratorium on funding or any support of any Cop City projects. Secondly, and again, Stop Cop City.
Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Jackson, speaking general public comment, addressing Proposition 33.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item if you'd like on Prop 33, 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. The rent is just too damn high. And we see the proof on our streets every day. The rent is just too damn high. Vote yes on Prop 33. Allow yourselves, the city, and all of us to be able to control rents, to be able to keep people in their homes. Yes on Prop 33.
Okay, next speaker, and if we can have the speakers be ready so that we can move a little bit more quickly. I
It's
know
not
there's a
working.
lot of people who would like to speak. Good morning.
I go next. Good
We
morning.
can hear you.
Audit LA, and I want to talk on 15, 16, 17, and maybe more. So that
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is 15. I'm going to ask that you make sure that the person being approved for the Charter Reform Commission is a high-level Scientologist, because Scientology has the real power in this city. Okay, because I've come to every single department meeting, everything, to get non-ADA approved planters removed, and none of y'all can do it. Mr. Martinez, Soto Martinez, are you here? Not listening? None of you are listening, I know. But he can't even get it done. So make sure you get a Scientologist on here because they have the real power in this city. Number 16. Kerry Washington. Sadly, I don't know who Kerry Washington is, but that's a Hollywood thing. You know, like that whole Hollywood Walk of Fame thing. Why is City Council dealing with that when we have real issues? You know, we have issues like what's going on here in this room, all these issues, housing issues, police issues, pothole issues, non-ADA compliance of an entire city. Let's add the cult of Scientology to that mix. So why are we worried? Why are you guys bothering with these stars? I would like to know what Smoke and Scan thinks about you guys having to work on that. I'm curious. 17. Okay, definitely. LAPD, you know, and I'm not somebody that hates all cops. I don't. I mean, Duarte's pretty cool, and these guys here are pretty cool. I don't hate all cops, but I hate bad cops, and I hate bad policing and bad police ideas. I also hate that they get half the city budget, and like nothing gets resolved. I mean, you guys. You know, I get the overtime because, you know, like certain protesters are being swatted all the time, and so that might create a lot of overtime. But what I would suggest to help fill if you need more money for the overtime, is to fine Scientology for all the swatting calls. Okay, so far we have figured out it's probably close to $250,000 of city resources being wasted against protesters of Scientology. Okay, that's a lot of money. That's a lot more than 50,000. Why don't you go after the people who are making
Speaker,
swatting
you've
calls? I'm
exhausted
on
your minute
topic because I'm
this item.
saying.
I know, but you've exhausted your minute on this item, so please move on to another item.
Sorry.
You have exhausted your 1 minute on this item, so please move on to another item.
Okay. Well, then let's get the welfare housing. Let's get more housing for the people that need it. Thank you.
General public comment?
Yes, for public comment. I've been coming to City Hall, whether online or in person, now since June, okay, with a simple ask. This is a simple one, an easy one. And again, the only one who pays attention here is Mr. McCosker. He's the only one. And I appreciate that, Mr. McCosker. But I want the planters at L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain to be permitted. Like, you go after everyone else when they don't permit their things, and you find them when they don't listen. And I want them ADA compliant. They are not. There's a 3-4 block radius now that I cannot get on or off any any vehicle that needs a ramp because you guys won't do your job. Mr. Martinez's office is always saying, he did say, thankfully, yeah, they're working on it, but it seems like nobody knows who does what. Like, is it Breer Street Services? Who does what? Can you just remove or make ADA compliant these planters? I know it's a minor issue for everyone else, but not for
Speaker,
me.
your time
Thank
has
you.
expired. Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Just general public comment. Thank you.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Good morning, council members. I'm Susie Shannon, and I'm asking you respectfully to vote yes on Proposition 33 to endorse that proposition today. The average cost of a 2-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles is now $3,742 a month, which is way too expensive for most of our constituents here in Los Angeles. So I'm asking you to join the California Democratic Party, the LA County Democratic Party, the County of Los Angeles, tenant groups like ACE and Housing Now and Tenants Together and Coalition for Economic Survival, the California Alliance for Retired Americans, Veterans Voices, and labor unions in support of Proposition 33. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Hello, my name is Demetria Nash, and my son, Christopher Okamoto, was killed by law enforcement. This has devastated our family. I'm still fighting. It's been 6 years that I have gotten justice. I have been taking this back and forth to court for years, and we still have not gotten justice yet. I'm a mother of 7, and I still long for my son, Christopher Okamoto, and I just want law enforcement to step up and just stop the violence, because it's killing not just my children, everyone else's that's around here, and we just need for police brutality to stop. I'm grieving still. As you guys can see, I'm shaking. It's been 6 long years, and I'm still fighting. I have here my grandson that Christopher never got a chance to meet, and we're going to continue fighting. We just want you guys to stop the violence and increase the peace.
Okay, so thank you.
Christopher Okamoto, say his name. Christopher Okamoto.
Oh, I heard Camille Lewis, who has been warned multiple times, Council President, if you would like, she is also subject to removal at this point. I can see the gentleman in the cap in the very back who's standing up has also been disrupting this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. Again, please do not disrupt other people's public comment. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to. All right, the woman who's standing next to, I believe she is just maybe a row or two behind Mr. Spindler and has her hair in 2 buns and is wearing a white mask. This is your first and only formal warning. Please do not disrupt this, and she's flipping me off now, so it is that individual. Please do not disrupt this meeting. All right, go ahead. Which items would you like to speak to?
Public comment. My name's Keely, and I want to connect to the last speaker. Today is October 22nd. National Day to Stop Police Brutality. And what the last speaker talked about was police brutality. And we are calling for an end to police brutality and an end to stop cop nations, because we are creating a militarized police force. And so we are here today to speak out first against police brutality, second against cop cities, and then finally, we are here to speak out and oppose the appointment of Jim McDonnell as police chief. He has failed every place he has been. And if you want a failed police chief, you got it with Jim McDonald, and we oppose him. Thank you.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Sabrina Laseg, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. My name is Sabrina Laseg, and I'm a child rights advocate. Child marriage is internationally recognized as a human rights violation, and yet it's happening here in Los Angeles. I want to share Janet's story today. At 14 years old, Janet was sold into marriage by her mother to a 21-year-old man. Janet lived here in the Golden State. According to UNICEF USA and Unchained at Last, nearly 300,000 women and girls, some as young as 10, were married as child brides between 2000 and 2018. In California, sex with a minor is a crime, but if the perpetrator marries the child beforehand, they evade accountability. As someone who was raped at 15 years old, I understand the lasting impacts of what comes with those violations and compromised youth. I stand for the rights of all children to live free from violence and exploitation, and I urge you to think of Janet and the thousands of girls like her. By supporting this cause and helping convince California's elected officials to stand forward and help pass AB 2924. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call.
Buenos días
Maureen.
a todos. Lo que yo vengo es a protestar para que bajen la
Hold on
renta,
just a minute,
porque la
please.
renta está muy cara.
Un momento,
En
por favor.
California,
Which
Permítame un
items would
momento.
you like to
mucho la
speak to?
renta, pues,
Permítame un momento.
Ajá,
¿De qué puntos, de qué temas quiere hablar?
de la renta, porque está
About
muy alta
rent,
la renta.
because it's too high, the rent.
Ajá, muy high. Por eso vengo a protestar. La
Okay,
renta está muy
continúe.
alta.
The rent is very high.
Ajá.
Continúe.
Que bajen la renta, por favor, para que no muchas personas están en la calle, por eso.
Please reduce the
¿Qué
rent
vamos
because
a
many
hacer si
people are
no
on the
bajan la
streets.
renta?
What are we
Más
doing?
sube
Can
la
you hold
renta.
us? So, sir, your time is paused. Can I get the interpreter to please interpret what I'm about to say aloud? So, anybody who would like to
Cualquier
use
persona.
a Spanish language interpreter,
Cualquier persona que quiera usar los servicios de interpretación,
please pause every few sentences so the interpreter can do their job.
por favor pause en cada oración para que el intérprete pueda hacer su trabajo.
Nada más
We will pause your time so
la
you get the
renta
same amount of time as everyone else.
Vamos a pausar su tiempo de tal manera que usted obtenga el mismo tiempo con la interpretación.
Go ahead, sir.
Adelante,
Ajá.
señor.
Porque en California la renta está muy alta, está muy cara la renta. Necesito que el gobernador, el alcalde haga, pues, para que baje la renta. Mi
California-
posición es la 33 solamente y gracias.
In California, the rent is too high. I need the governor and the mayor to help us and support number 33.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Which items would you like to
Buenos
speak to?
días, mi nombre es Ramiro Luque y estoy aquí para
¿Para
pedirles
qué temas quiere hablar?
que apoyen a la Proposición 33 porque la renta sigue muy alta.
I'm here to support
Gracias.
Proposition 33 because the rent is too high. Thank you.
Good morning.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Raúl Vázquez.
My name is Raúl Vázquez.
Estoy aquí con el único propósito de apoyando la Proposición 33 porque la renta está demasiado alta y en estas próximas elecciones todos apoyemos a la 33 para que baje la renta y con el apoyo de todos podemos ganar. Gracias.
I'm here to support Proposition 33 because the rent is too high. In the next elections, everybody please support Proposition 33 so the rent goes lower.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Raúl Piña Ávila y estoy aquí solicitándoles la ayuda para la proposición 33, yes a la proposición 33, ya que las rentas son demasiado altas. Les pido a ustedes como autoridad que vean eso, ya es demasiado.
Don, just a minute. Go ahead.
I'm here, my name is Raul Piña. I'm here to support Proposition 33 because the rent is too high, and I ask you as authorities to do something about it.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
Yes, my name is Nicole McElhose, and I am with local AFSME 2626, speaking on behalf of public safety for the libraries.
You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Yep, general comment, thank you. Libraries are one of the few places in our society where all are welcome regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of mental health, regardless of addiction. I believe with all of my heart in this mission that libraries are for everyone. I also believe that everyone deserves to feel safe in the library, including staff. Times have changed. Libraries have changed. The support systems, training, and resources for the Los Angeles Public Library staff, they have not changed. Libraries are now community and service-centric. Personal safety is a real daily concern for the Los Angeles Public Library System employees. We are no longer equipped to do this work alone without safeguards in place. We need a comprehensive safety plan. Please take care of your city workers so that they can take care of your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Michael Williams, Melina Abdullah, Lori Condinas, Lisa Palombi, Justin Marks, Julian Alexander Macara.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Eduardo Martinez, and this is a public comment. I just want to let everybody know that we're here to let you know the rent is too damn high in California. Come November 5th, we have a Proposition 33. Will you please support 33 so we can get able to pay the rent and still live in California? Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Muy buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Felipe Delgado y estoy aquí para invitar a que aprueben para apoyar a la proposición 33 porque las rentas están demasiado altas. Hay muchísima gente viviendo en la calle.
Señor, un momento, por favor, para que le pueda traducir. Gracias. Hello, good evening, or good afternoon, council members. My name is Elito Delgado. I am here to ask for a yes vote on Proposition 33 because the rent is too high.
Entonces, el apoyo yo pienso que es muy importante en cuestión de las rentas porque están demasiado altas todavía. Muchísimas gracias. Con permiso.
Then I think your support would be very important for this proposition due to the fact that the rent is very high. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up
Buenos
under.
días, mi nombre es Celia López y estoy aquí para pedirles que nos apoyen en la proposición 33 por las altas rentas para que tengan un control.
Yes, hello, my name is Celita Lopez. I am asking for a yes vote on Proposition 33 because the rent is too high and we are struggling.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning. My name is Francisco Salcido. I'm supporting the Proposition 33 because the rent is too damn high. I have friends, families that are trying to move back to Texas because they can't afford rent here. And this is used to be the dream state. It's turning into a nightmare. Please support 33. Yes, I'm 33.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Andrés Díaz y estoy aquí para que en California haya un control de renta, ya que está demasiado alta. Necesitamos control de renta en California. Por favor, voten sí a la proposición 33, la cual yo estoy apoyando. Gracias.
Hello, yes, my name is Andres Diaz. I am asking California to vote yes on Proposition 33 so that we may have rent control because rent is too high. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Nakas. I'm here because the rent is still too damn high, and please vote yes on Proposition 33. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Karen Flanagan. I'd like to speak on general public comment and item 20.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
So contrary to Council District 4 Homeless Services Representative Mr. Siggins' oral report to the Rec and Parks Commission on October 17th, there remain 6 tents at the Mulholland Fountain by the Bridge Home Shelter on Riverside Drive. This demonstrates the deplorable situation and the failure of the adjacent Bridge Home Shelter. This is not a situation that an ambassador program, which is basically defined as a warm body who can call first responders and gain rapport with shelter residents, not something they can manage. I've done this work for 2.5 years as a clinical therapist with over 20 years experience, and I doubt anyone from a well-meaning nonprofit such as the SELA organization, which Mrs. Rahman founded, will be able to handle these situations that arise daily and nightly. Fights break out. The list goes on and on. An untrained ambassador will be placed in harm's way, not a benefit to the shelter.
Okay, general public comment?
To continue, will be placed in harm's way, not a benefit to the shelter resident safety or that of the broader community. In his oral report, Mr. Siggins did not define the ambassador program that has already been instituted late and should not be forthcoming. It just basically places a person in a position to be harmed. It's also a conflict of interest for Mrs. Rahman, attempting to filter $79,000 to her organization through the city clerk. The community believes it's wise to have a written report before the Rec and Parks Commission, and after that report manifests, we would be able to consider the ambassador program. The community believes that this is just a Band-Aid to an already horrible situation, and we will be monitoring funding and effectiveness of the ambassador program if you do not withdraw her motion. It should not go forward.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Noah Weiss, item 20, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general.
Okay,
Please
can I do
begin with
general
the
public
item.
comment first?
Please start with the item first. Go ahead.
So item 20. Item 20 is a motion that needs to be withdrawn by Ms. Rahman. You people are all knowledgeable on how these motions from her cash stash or your own individual cash stashes are supposed to be made and executed. Her motion does not have any direction relative to controller account number where this $79,822 is going to go. That's number one. Number two, she doesn't have the city controller even mentioned in the motion. You all have to read this. Seriously, it is an embarrassment. What we're talking about is the city clerk doesn't do payments. The controller does the payments. There have to be control numbers. They aren't there. I don't know where the city attorney is. If the city attorney looked at this, he would never allow it. And frankly, you all should not allow it. It needs to be continued. It needs to be withdrawn. And we're talking about, in addition, It's a rescission motion. This is money that was spent in December 2023, and this goes to Ms. Hernandez's point about what the heck is going on here. In 2023, that money was already spent. And so please, do not vote yes on this motion. Please persuade Ms. Rahman to withdraw it so that you are not further embarrassed. Now, on the public comment side, Ms. Hernandez is fantastic. She should be chief of the Budget Committee. She's, of all of you people, and Mr. Blumenfeld's been chief of the Budget Committee, Mr. Krikorian, all these years, she's raising issues that should be raised by all of you. In terms of risk management, we've been talking about this for 20 years from the City Attorney's Office. You people who've been here longer, like Mr. Blumenfeld, you know this. This is an ongoing problem. City Attorney needs a performance audit, and they need a financial audit. Now, in terms of risk management, let me just say this. We're talking about the Plains Rancho, 25 million gallons of butane. Mr. McCosker is aware of it. Mr. McCosker promised me and his constituents a joint hearing with Public Safety, Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Park. We need, Council President, that joint hearing. And I'm asking Mr. McCosker to follow through on his promise, have Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Park hold that joint hearing so that we can educate you all on this risk that is ever present. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items
Michael
you'd like
Williams,
to speak to.
general public comment. Also, am I looking at this timer or this timer? Because they're off.
So we're using the timer there, and then I also have a timer on my phone. But you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Okay. A city council that allows a man who spouted racist things and tried to remove or weaken black voting power in the city of Los Angeles, but doesn't allow for mothers who came all their way took time out of their day to come here and speak in front of you. A council that allows one but doesn't allow the other does not represent the people. A council that allows someone for 3 minutes to say racial slurs, but kicks out the person that tries to correct that, cannot represent the people. And we wonder why our systems, our world, our city looks the way it is. Because we have leaders like this. Because we have leaders that allow racism and prejudice, but kick out people who try to address it, who try to stop people from speaking who try to address it. This is an indictment not only on this city council, but on the people that...
Your time has expired. Again, we cannot choose what we want to hear more than anyone else. So, Speaker, this is your only warning. Please vacate the podium. Next speaker. Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak to?
Melina Abdullah, all items.
So you have 3 minutes for the items, and I assume general public comment?
So I'm here today with my students. I brought students from my graduate class on intersectional blackness to come to a community event. This is supposed to be one of the most tame community events they can come to. And they're here to listen to the voices of the people and watch them engage in the process of civic engagement.
You're welcome to speak to this during general public comment.
They're here to watch you engage in the process of civic engagement. Instead, they were locked out. They were told that this forum was full.
Earlier, we have to give everyone the same amount of time. So I'm going to move you to general public comment.
Half the seats were empty. They were told that they watched as you quieted mothers of those who've been killed by police on this national day to stop police brutality. They've watched you as you haven't engaged. You've whispered on the side as a grieving mother showed you the ashes of her son. This is shameful. This is shameful. Marquise, I know you. I know you. I know the mayor. Have y'all forgotten who you are and who you're supposed to stand for? You know, we're tired of a misleadership class. We're tired of people like Kevin De Leon, who was once my student and then revealed who he is as an anti-Black, anti-Indigenous racist, as a hater of renters and poor people. We're tired of this misleadership class that continues to betray community, that continues to sick police on us, that continues to do the work of white supremacist capitalism. We're here to say that your days as a misleadership class
Speaker,
are
your
numbered.
time has expired. We need to move on to the other speakers. Speaker, this is your only warning. We need to move on to the next speaker. So I need you to vacate the podium, please, so we can move on to the next speaker. Okay, and just as an FYI for everybody who is a regular attendee or anybody who this is their first time here. So I understand that people have a lot of opinions and are very passionate about things that are said or things that they would like to say. But just to be clear, the rules that require us to provide equal amount of time to everyone regardless of viewpoint are not things that are within the control of this council. So, and the Brown Act is state law that we have to comply with. So again, it is not something that this council has authority to change on its own. Good afternoon. If you could please remind us. All right. So, Camille Lewis, you have been warned multiple times and are subject to potential removal if the chair would like. I would also note that the gentleman in the hat in the back who's standing next to the kiosk has also been warned, as well as the gentleman in the hat with the beard in the very back as well. So anybody who is yelling out is disrupting this meeting. We cannot continue with the next public speaker. Okay. So the gentleman in the bucket hat has been warned multiple times, Council President. Again, I do not know if the chair would like him removed or not. Good morning. Sorry, good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to. Okay, I need everybody to stop their applause so we can continue with public comment. Camille Lewis, this is your 5th or 6th warning. I've lost count. Please.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Lisa Palombi. I'm here for general comment. I am the president of the Librarians Guild, AFSCME Local 2626. My fellow librarians are here today to bring to your attention some of the most dire issues facing our libraries. We grapple with verbal abuse, general and sexual harassment, drug abuse, violence, and intimidation, as well as unsanitary conditions. This daily threat to our physical safety while at work, serving our communities, has created an unsustainable level of mental trauma among our workers. Librarians turn to library administration and get offered mental health apps on their phone and trainings on self-care, but no amount of breathing techniques can prevent the next chair from being tossed at your head. Council members, we're asking you today to check in on your libraries in your districts, visit them, see what they are dealing with firsthand. Listen when the library workers say they need civil service security officers, unarmed, who care about the mission of the library. Listen when we say that contract security staff has led to inconsistent staffing
Speaker, your
levels
time
and
has
leave us
expired.
most vulnerable. Thank you for listening this morning.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Lori Candinas, and I'm speaking on general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. City Council, I'm here today just to reiterate what you have heard from a couple of the librarians. There is a dire need for the city to do something. The workers are in danger. Their lives are in danger. We want something to be done before one of them gets killed. And I don't say that lightly, I say that seriously. So as my forever First Lady said, do something. Thank you.
All right, that concludes in-person public comment. We'll now go to public comment by telephone.
Okay, and Before we move on to virtual public comment, Council President, I believe there is a motion that is still waiting to be introduced. So,
Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Speaker, in-person public comment has been closed. Again, as stated during the directions, we try to get to as many people as possible. As noted, we have had multiple disruptions throughout this meeting, including this one. So, we have taken almost an hour and a half of public comment in chambers. So, I need everybody.
These two gentlemen on the
shouting
side
out.
are disrupting the meeting. You guys are excused from the meeting.
Okay. Everyone who is still shouting out, this is your only warning, or to the extent that you have been warned multiple times, you are subject to removal. That includes the two gentlemen who are standing on the left-hand side of council chambers. That includes Camille Lewis, who has received now 7 or 8 warnings. It includes essentially everybody who's standing up and chanting. This is your only warning.
Mr. City Attorney, we're going to put the council in recess and clear the chambers.
So, okay, so clearly, to members of the public, the council president has voiced his intention to potentially recess the meeting. If we cannot maintain order to continue with virtual public comment, then this council will go into recess until we can obtain order. Sergeants? Okay, this is our last opportunity. Sergeants, I'm going to need help to get the room under control, or else the council president would like to go into recess. Okay.
Yes. This council is now in recess. Sergeants, please clear the chambers.
All right, let's go back into session now. Do we need to call the roll?
Yes, sir. Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris, Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McGoster, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto, Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 13 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Great, thank you. Before we go into virtual public comment, Councilwoman Yaroslavsky, you have, on the board, for what purpose do you rise?
Yes, the city attorney has the technical or the minor amendment to item 13. I was hoping you could read it in.
Yes, so the amendment on item number 13, again, it will only make minor changes to the existing language. So it is not a new recommendation. Reads, I move that item number 13 be amended to adopt the following revision to condition approval number 1 in lieu of any prior language as follows. 1, and this is the new language, no later than 18 months from the effective start date, end of the new language, of the tenancy of a new operator, and the following language is struck. No earlier than 8 to 12 months and no later than 12 to 18 months from the effective start date of this determination. The tenancy of a new operator, and that's end of the struck language. All of the other language remains the same. And is there a second to this motion? I'm being told that it is Councilmember Lee.
Okay, Councilmember Lee seconds. Okay, anything we need to do before we go into virtual public comment?
No, sir.
All right, let's do 10 minutes on the phones.
Caller with the digits ending in 9519, you may speak. (9519), please unmute yourself.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoker scan viewer.
Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak to?
Let me get elevator island, general public comment if I can.
Okay, and I know we had a recess, so just for everybody who's still on the phones, the items that are open for public comment are items 13 through 22 and items 24 and 25. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Cool, thank you there, brother. Question: can we get like some of the stores down there to maybe some of the vendors to sell like Benadryl or something there? Because the other day I was
I'm
on
going to need you to stick to the agenda items, or I'm going to move you to general. This is your only warning. Go ahead.
I understood. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say. You know, I think it's not appropriate for me to say bless you to a chick while she's pulling on the end of my cock with her mouth. And I was thinking if we had some Benadryl or something down there that I could give her, to hook her up.
Okay, so this is not on the agenda. So you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead. Again, that needs to be matters that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
Well, thank you there, girl. Hey, did you lose weight? I mean, because it looks like your head's getting bigger there. Anyway, shout out to the smoke can community there. But like I was saying that if we had like Benadryl or something I can give the chick there, that way she won't be sneezing and coughing all over, the head of my cock when I'm trying to, get my $5 with a hand job. And if we had like some of the vendors down there to sell some of that, that'd be good there. Or maybe we have fat head posters, put those out there. And maybe have a little stand there with them, like some free Benadryl, because these chicks they be having struggling with the baby batter, keeping it down, I guess, and it's going everywhere and coming out the nose and ears and everywhere else.
So again, this does not appear to be something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. I need you to connect it to something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
And y'all don't have anything to do with Picaroa down here, sir? Because last I heard, remember that was in the city there.
Next caller.
Caller with the digits ending in 2616, unmute yourself.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn. It's Eric Previn from Studio City. I'd like to speak on the available items and also a general public comment.
Good afternoon. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Okay, well, the appointments to the Charter Reform Commission are of note. Jorge Nuno, who's a guy who runs two places. One's like a communications group that loves to get guys like Marquis Harris Dawson elected, and then also he's in the weed business. And the other guy is, I think he worked for Weezer and serves on the Metropolitan Water District. So, these are great independent appointments. These are highly connected guys who are going to help out. So interesting work. And thanks to the TM23 Foundation that De Leon was talking about. And thanks to Gerardo for running against him. But getting to the items, I would also suggest that the speed bumps in CD2 need to be contextualized because Krikorian is leaving now, and here's a $200,000 what have you, or maybe more, I don't know. And it's just very suspicious that this would be happening right now as his hand-picked sidekick is coming in, who runs the Office of Taxation. And how upsetting that the Budget and Finance presentation was not made before the council today when we have all these swirling issues about liability. And isn't it odd, Blumenfield, nice to see you up there again, sir, how I've been talking about the liability crisis for more than 5 years. I sued the other agency, the county, to make sure they provided legal billings that they were submitting, private firms were submitting to the county. And it's the same problem at the city. They get into these terrible legal snarls.
So
and
you're speaking to
Krikorian
items that are
pops
not
up.
open for public comment, so I need you to stick to the agenda. You can speak to this during general if you'd like.
You're saying that I should be speaking to can I speak about the housing units?
Yes, as long as it's one of
Are
the
you
items that's
interrupting
open
me?
for public comment.
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb next to Rule 7 and Rule 12 is the rule that you shut the fuck up so you don't
So
distract.
you have been
public
warned.
speakers,
You
know
are
what I mean?
not on topic. I'm going to move you to general public comment.
Okay.
You have 1 minute. Go ahead. You can
Let's
continue
go
your current
let's
thought.
go to general public comment. And a shout out to Judge David O. Carter, who is the judge who is applying all sorts of pressure to the county and the city for their malfeasance. I mean, for the endless cycling around and playing these very games where accountability is blocked in favor of, I don't know, some kind of grandstanding. Today was one of the most embarrassing meetings. You don't have to love the presidential candidate, vice president, to Melina Abdullah to hear what she said today. She brought people down for civic engagement, and this is just an embarrassment. And it's an embarrassment because of the draconian policies. And I do think somebody suggested Hernandez ought to be the head of budget and finance. That's not a bad choice. And Matt Szabo, after years of diligent work, ought to quit because he's in over his head. This is just a snarl. And Krikorian gets all the credit and all the blame. Thank you.
Caller with the digits 4208.
Afternoon, it's Rob Kwan. I'd like to speak on items 14, 15, and general public comment.
Good afternoon. You have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Good to see you, group. Virtually. Items 14 and 15 are on our Charter Reform Commission appointments. And I just want to note, looking at both of their council files right now, neither of them have Form 700s up there. This is usually something that gets Councilmember Rodriguez casting protest votes. It's a little sad considering I tried to give a heads up on this yesterday. I don't have any particular issues with any of the appointments, but like just for example, Mr. Nuno is a campaign consultant, including for Mayor Batt. Public deserves to clearly see who the recent clients are of an appointee. That's why we file Form 700. But none of you care to even ask them general questions, let alone about something like this. Interesting. Of course, on our ballot this fall, we have HH that presents a solution. Because of Councilmember Rodriguez's protest vote, we have a solution that you can't approve somebody unless they've filed their Form 700. However, it doesn't say how soon you have to file it. So we might have a situation where, like right now, let's just say the Form 700 got submitted in the next few minutes. You could vote on it. We wouldn't have any advance notice, and it would be all good. It's just kind of the half-baked reforms that we got out of this council. All sad. It's really just about the principle. We're doing charter reform. And I think some of you around this horseshoe need to pay attention. There's one of you who knows all about delaying a Form 700 to hide pretty shocking sources of income. I'll leave that as a teaser to be continued. And on behalf of Council District 1, I have to disagree with Mr.
General
President.
public comment.
Matt Szabo deserves an apology Councilmember Hernandez bullying him for not giving a presentation that she apparently didn't arrange to happen. And it's not the first time a new member has learned this lesson. It's kind of a rite of passage, but usually it happens the first couple months in, not a couple of years in. And not being prepared, that's why you're stuck on the fucking committees you are right now. You need to step it up. On behalf of District 1. Have a nice evening.
Next caller.
Caller with the digits ending in 1881.
Yes, thank you. Item 1720 and public comment, please.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to start with 20. Please, I would ask the council to listen to Noel White. That man has served the community, the city of Los Angeles, and I would ask the council to please send 20 back for review and take a better look at that. Item 17, I support, I'm in the 12th district, I support that extra police funding. They've done a great job for us. Now listen, let me just make it very clear. I've seen and felt the pain of one bad cop. I felt that pain when he humiliated my son who had mental illness. I know that pain. But how many good cops that have I worked with who have done great things for a lot of children, especially minority children? The Jeopardy program, the DARE program. Jobs, working with the community. All they want to do is go home and be happy and safe, just like the rest of us. That's why Jim McDonald is probably the best candidate for police chief. He has the experience and he knows what's wrong with the system. So I would hope that the public would support Mr. Jim McDonald. Lastly, public comment. May I go to public comment?
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Gold, I'm tired of it. Every time you warn people, either have the balls to throw somebody out or Camille Lewis, 7 times you threatened to throw her out. Yet Camille and Michelle Dumont and that other knucklehead, they're the one that brought violence to city council. They are the ones that attacked seniors. They are the ones that bludgeoned, literally just beat the hell out of a Jewish man with a computer. Why do you allow that? Why does that weak president, I'm sorry he looks sharp today with his tie on, but my God, he's got to show some balls in there and start enforcing what the rules are. But please, don't give 1, don't give 7, give none, and take control of the city council again. It's an embarrassment, sir. It's an embarrassment. Thank you.
Caller, your time has expired.
We've taken 12 minutes of phones.
Okay. What's next on our agenda?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 2, 9, 14 through 16, 18 through 20, and 22.
Okay, do any members wish to speak on these items? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
12 ayes.
Mr. President, would you like to move on to item 25 as amended?
Yes, let's take that up for consideration. Item 25 is amended. Any members wish to speak? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. And tally the votes.
12 ayes.
Great, that measure is adopted. Next, I believe item 17 is called for a special vote.
That's correct.
Let's, any members wish to speak on item 17? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
10 ayes, 1 no.
Okay. Next, I believe we have items 2, 21, and 24.
Mr. President, I believe
we have a
Councilmember Soto
recusal.
Martinez.
Okay. Mr. Soto Martinez, what purpose do you rise?
Yes, Mr. Chair. My screen is not working. I meant pushing my button to vote no on item 17. So can you please register me as a no vote?
Without objection, that will be so noted. It doesn't change the outcome, so we can make that adjustment.
That's correct. And the final vote would be 9 ayes and 2 noes.
Okay. Okay, next item.
I believe it would be item 13, as amended by Yaroslavsky Lee.
Okay, any members wish to speak? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
11 ayes.
Great, measure is adopted. Next item.
Item 21, called special by Councilmember De Leon.
Okay, and this is one Mr. Price is recusing. He's not on the board. Okay. Item 21 is called special. Mr. De Leon.
Yeah, thank you much, Mr. President. Colleagues, I rise for your support for item number 21. I want to thank Ms. Rahman as well. This is a measure where we're moving $400,000 to help complete the financing for 31 units for women who are victims of domestic violence, of sexual violence, of verbal violence as well. This is on the 710 Caltrans properties, and we know the legacy of Caltrans and the way they've handled these properties for well over half a century. Now that we have the final nail in the coffin legislatively in Sacramento, that the 710 freeway will never be completed through the communities of El Sereno, Alhambra, South Pasadena, and Pasadena. We're now in the process of creating affordable housing for many folks. So this specifically is $400,000 for new economics for women, with the East Los Angeles Women's Center will be the service provider. Again, it's 31 units that will be built. The $400,000 completes the financing that they needed. They needed that bridge financing to be completed, and we'll be offering those dollars so they can have 31 units of affordable housing for women who are victims of sexual and domestic violence and their children. So I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any other members wish to be heard? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
11 ayes.
Okay, that measure is adopted. Next item.
Item 24, called for a separate vote by Councilmember Lee.
Okay, any members wish to be heard on this item? Seeing no members on the queue. Oh, member on the queue. No worries.
That's okay.
Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Good morning, colleagues. I introduced this resolution because I think it's far too long since we've modernized our laws in California in regards to rent control. Now, just a little bit of a history lesson. Our current rent stabilization ordinance is without doubt the most powerful tool we have to combat homelessness, make sure the rents don't go out of control. We make sure keep Angelenos in their home, and we need to have this tool expanded as much as possible, because since everything built after 1978, we have literally no control or no power over those units. And as folks may know, Costa-Hawkins, which was passed in 1995, is basically guts our ability to expand that rent control. It just so happened that in 1995, it was 2 years where Republican legislators had control of the assembly, passed this law, which I think is also a historical point that we need to think about. And it makes no sense that we can rent stabilized units built in 1975, but we don't have the power to do those for buildings built in 1980. And we know that we've been losing our RSO stock every single year through demolitions, through conversions, and we see those numbers go dwindling down every single year. We see that sorry rents are pushing people out. The city is very unaffordable. And so I think if we're going to solve the housing crisis issue, the homelessness issue, and make sure people can live in the city of Los Angeles, we need to at least have the ability to try to expand that here in the city of Los Angeles. And so I ask for your A vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other members wish to be heard on this item? Seeing no members on the queue, and I'm looking around in case your machines aren't working. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the vote.
8 ayes, 3 noes.
Okay, thank you. Next item.
Mr. President, Council has motions for posting and referral.
Okay, without objection, they're posted and referred. Announcements? Colleagues, anyone have an announcement? Looking to my left, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sure this doesn't necessarily need to be said. I'm sure everyone is excited about the upcoming World Series between us and New York Yankees. I know the whole city's excited. This in front of me is the trophy from the last time we faced them in the World Series, which is in 1981, and of course, we won that World Series. And so we are going to be establishing a little challenge between our city council and the New York City Council, and hopefully we can have, in the good spirit of sportsmanship, just want to make sure that, just want to announce that we're excited, but we don't have to worry because the Dodgers aren't going to lose this. And so we're just excited to make that announcement, and we'll have further details on that tomorrow.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Lee, and excited about those details. And I assume you were the shortstop on the Dodgers then? That's why you have that trophy? Okay. Any other announcements? Thank you, Mr. Spindler, for your hearty laugh. Seeing no other announcements, does anyone have adjourning motions? Yes. Okay, so I could ask everyone in the chambers to rise. We'll start with Mr. De Leon for an adjourning motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I rise to adjourn in the memory of a true trailblazer in the wine industry and beloved member of our community, Maddalena Maria Stragoni Reboli, who passed away peacefully on September 8th, 2024, at the age of 101 years old. Maddalena's journey began in Mombazzuro, Piemonte, Italy, where she was born on December 7th, 1922, before her family made her way all the way to America when she was just 7 years old. They settled in the historic Guazzi Winery Village, where her father, Giovanni, had been working since 1918, laying the foundation of what would become a legacy in California's wine industry. Maddalena's brilliance shined early on with a natural talent for mathematics, science, and sports. These skills, combined with a business acumen she developed while running a produce stand from her family farm, set her apart as a young woman with a drive and vision. After graduating from Chino High School in 1941, she began her career at the Cucamonga Vineyard Company. It was here that Maddalena's leadership qualities truly emerged and where she met the love of her life, Stefano Reboli, during the difficult years of World War II. A true pioneer, Maddalena broke barriers in the wine industry. She was instrumental in opening one of California's first wine tasting rooms and led a female-driven distribution company at a time when the industry was overwhelmingly male-dominated. Maddalena also championed the importation of European wines, expanding the horizons of California's wine culture. In 1972, she established the Maddalena Restaurant, a downtown Los Angeles landmark that still serves as a testament to her enduring spirit. Maddalena was not only a groundbreaking businesswoman, but also a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother and great-grandmother. Her legacy extends far beyond the vineyards and wine cellars. It lives on through her family, whom she cherished deeply. She leaves behind her children, Santo, Kathy, and Steve, her grandchildren, Anthony, Lisa, Michael, and David. David was here earlier, but had to leave. Dante, Blake, Christopher, and Alexander, and her great-grandchildren, Elena, Sophia, Shane, Devin, Catherine, Dylan, and Weston. Maddalena's life was one of love, of perseverance, and vision. She transformed challenges into opportunities, and her contributions have left an indelible mark on California's cultural and culinary landscape. As we honor her memory today, we celebrate a life lived with passion and purpose and the extraordinary legacy she leaves behind. I know that we have Ronnie here, who's representing the San Antonio Winery, and all of the Reboli family here today in recognition of this incredible woman, this incredible Angelino, again, a woman who left an indelible mark in the footprint of the great city of Los Angeles. To the incredible Maddalena Maria Stragni Reboli, may you rest in peace.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to say that I'm glad that we're adjourning today's meeting in honor of Madalena Riboli, the matriarch and head of the Riboli family. I want to extend my deepest condolences to the family, friends, neighbors, and community members who mourn the loss of Madalena. When I went to her celebration of life, I learned a lot about her and a lot of what she has done to really bring her family forward and to uplift them. And it really reminded me of all the work that my mom has done as a Mexican immigrant coming to this country, the future investments that she made for future generations, the type of entrepreneurship, business mindset that Madalena had is really what has lifted this family and made them prominent and so impactful in this community. And so I thank her for her leadership. You can see the impact in Chinatown of her thoughtfulness, of her entrepreneurship. You can see all of that also in Lincoln Heights and the tremendous impact that they have there. She had a profound love for her family, and people in Northeast LA are always reminded of that, and her legacy stretches far beyond Los Angeles. She was loved and admired by so many, and it was really special, again, to witness her celebration of life. It was beautiful. Y'all know how to really celebrate people, and to be there to witness all the people that loved her, just was a really awesome moment. So thank you for allowing us to be there with you all. May she rest in the warm embrace of our ancestors, and may her legacy of love and family live on in many spaces that she impacted. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other adjourning motions? To my left, to my right? Seeing no other adjourning motions, go forth, serve the city, do great work. This meeting is adjourned.